Hey, welcome to Dissecting the Deep. This is my 7th time recording this intro because OBS fucking sucks and is really annoying. But yeah, so this will just be audio. But we have a guest this week, L Hudson from Hounding and Floods in Japan, two really great bands, and I'm sure other projects. They have solo music under Tag Day. All the links to that stuff will be in the description, as well as their socials. Please be sure to keep up with them if you're at all interested in this podcast, or if you just like good music and you think this podcast sucks, because they don't even have to be related. This podcast does kind of suck, but they still make really good music, so check it out. Thanks. Let's start the show. I've had all this shit for so long to like make music, and I just was like, I gotta start doing videos and shit. See what works.
Yeah.
See if anything lands. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I got all this to get music, and then I've mainly used. I've released a lot of music, but I also use it a lot to stream. It's like so.
Yeah, I'd like to get into that. It's just I don't know, man. It's crazy. I did it once and I was like, why am I doing this to two people? I need to like start a YouTube and then get some people. I'm not going to do this to two people, you know?
It's all about momentum. That stuff's all about momentum. Like,
yeah,
the first however long you might be streaming to two people, and then it slowly builds up if you just consistently stream. It's just about picking up momentum. Same with YouTube. Like, you're gonna do better if you release a video every week than if you release a video sporadically throughout a year.
Well, if you don't mind that what we just said, since we're already talking, I'm just gonna start it there. Like, I'll just start where we were when we said when we started talking about streaming. But yeah, I feel like with YouTube also, I think that I can do a video on some shit that other people already like, and even though nobody knows who the fuck I am, they might find it. So that's my whole thing with doing YouTube, is like, hopefully, because I don't have friends, I don't want to make friends, I'm bad at it, and it's just like, I just want to make stuff. I don't want to fuck with people.
Yeah, I get you. I've got so much like recorded YouTube wise, and it's just editing. Editing takes so long, and I'm missing out on the trends. Like, I've got Among Us videos recorded. I didn't do it because I was like, I want to record an Among Us video. I was like, oh, people might watch. Yeah, but I guess you gotta like find that line, really, haven't you, between enjoyment and passion.
For me, it's like ease of use. Like, can I just turn my computer on and start doing this, and then upload it with minimal editing? Because a lot of people in the start, their shit kind of sucks anyways. So it's just doing it. Like, I want to keep doing these things so I get better. And right now what I have, like, right now I'm just on my shitty webcam because I figure it would be like a picture-in-picture thing for this. But I realize you can take like your good cameras, like a Canon or whatever, and actually use it as a webcam. They put out some software because of the pandemic. They're like, everybody can use these as webcams now. So, like, my podcast I used that, and it looks pretty tight. So I'm pretty stoked on that, because now I have, like, decent video, and it makes me feel so old, man. I'm 27, but like, old. That's old, yeah. It's old. A lot of people already gave up.
I'm nearing my mid-20s. I'm 24, like, in 2 weeks' time, and that terrifies me. Yeah, that's so scary for me. I'm like, oh man, I need to get into cycling or jazz, or I need to start a podcast. I'm getting to my mid-20s, man. I don't even like IPAs.
Yeah. And the thing is, right, people will tell you, oh, you have all the time in the world, and you kind of do, right? You're not crazy old. But that feeling, I don't have any advice for people who have that feeling of, oh, I'm too old and I need to start doing things. I just think yeah, if you feel that way, that's great. Use it to drive you and just start doing the things, because we got to do the things. Like, we could die tomorrow. We got to do the things, man. I don't know.
Just gotta do the things, man.
There's too much shit, but I gotta do it.
Man. I mean, it's never too late to get into shit, though, is it? Like,
no.
I mean, I didn't start making music until I was like 19.
Oh, that's crazy.
Did it? I think it's going pretty well, huh?
I think it's going well. I love your music. I think that I think you're making music that you like, and that's why it's coming out so cool. And it's not necessarily what's going on right now in the ethos as far as music is concerned.
Yeah.
But I think that hopefully, my hope is that works out in your favor. Because if it does, I can ride that wave. Because I like stuff like that too, you know? But yeah, shit's got to come back.
Yeah, it has to. Musical, it's the same with like fashion, and everything always goes in a cycle. So eventually, itself. Like all the grunge sort of hardcore crap I make will come back, and it'll be beautiful, and I'll finally make some money off my music, instead of being in crippling debt. But yeah. I don't know. I think the music, for me, in terms of creating stuff, it's always better if you just do what you enjoy, instead of sitting there and thinking, what will other people enjoy? How do I produce this or write this in a way that everyone's gonna be like, wow, I love this because it's the same as everything that's on the radio. Like that has its place, but it's just not my place.
I think there's probably some money in that, but how long can you keep doing that? That's how I feel about it. And you're not going to feel fulfilled if you're just making some shit you don't care about. So even though it's like, oh, goddamn, I worked on this song and nobody fucking cares again. Like, I don't know, I'll always do it. How am I going to... It's just what I do at this point. I don't even care if anyone hears it, but hopefully something happens. It's the marketing. We don't want to market. People who make music don't want to do that shit. I don't care about any of that shit.
It's the hardest thing. I went to... With the boys in the Hounding, we went to some networking events last year. Wow, it's like we went to this one where they were putting on a festival, and it's like a pretty big festival around where I live. And I was like, yo, let's go there. We got invited personally because they wanted people from the DIY scene. So we were like, yo, let's go there, see what it's all about. And we were the only bands that were there. And we'd never seen any of these people at any shows or anything. I mean, we go to every show in our area because there's just not many of them. And there are all these old detached white dudes that were too old to be telling you what was going on in the Kent scene. And they were some woman was like, so we actually gave a grant to a band last year, to this singer last year from London, of £2,000 to produce an album. And I was like, oh, tell you what, you give me 800 quid, I'll give you an album. And she's like, huh, interesting, that's really interesting. So how many followers do you have on Facebook? And I was like, come to the show. Yeah. And they just they were so detached from, and she was just giving it all you should commercialize your sounds, and then when you get big, then you can do what you want. And it's that's not the way it should be, really. No. Just do what you want to do.
And that could still happen
scene,
naturally.
Just make a scene.
Yeah. You could, and it's not like the shit you make is unbearable to the average person. Some of these songs are just catchy, kind of almost pop punky in a way at some points. And that could always, I'll make a song that sounds bubblegum bullshit if I want to. You know what I mean? So it could happen. That could happen naturally, and I'd way rather have it happen naturally than try to make a song everyone will like. It just, the people who know me too, they would be like, that's not him. He hates everything. He's not writing from his heart. But,
see, I feel like with Hounding, we do have the catchier songs, but our last EP we put out, Bad Days one, and that was very much, we went into that going, oh, what songs do we have that will get played on the radio? And for me, I hate that EP because of that. Whereas like we've just spent the entire summer recording an album, and I spent 2.5 years writing it. And for me, I listen to it and I'm like, yeah, that's the shit I want to do. Like, it's not a genre. It's just all sorts of everything just thrown at the wall. And then that's Hounding sort of. And like being able to do Floods alongside it as well, where it's like the screamo hardcore stuff, has been like really cool to like develop two styles simultaneously. And like, it's really moving me away from that whole, oh, let's write a 4-chord song with a catchy lead line on it that people will sing along to, and more to the right. Let's write something I want to do, and I want to write, which is I think it's a really cool place to be in with music, and I think that's what really people who make music, unless you're doing it like commercially as a job, like that's what you should do. Just do what you enjoy.
Yeah, some of your songs, I like I said, I wanted to prepare for this a little more, and I know there's a riff that I wanted to talk about, but, you know, just in general, sometimes that shit'll go off like Smashing Pumpkins, but like a hard Smashing Pumpkins riff that's like kind of metal. You'll pop that shit in, and that's awesome. That's fucking sick. There's no way that's not going to come back. That's got to come back. It's so good.
Surely,
the way that type of shit hits, it's awesome. And personally, my music, it's a lot of people are like, that's bullshit. I don't believe you when I say this. Everything I do, I'm kind of in a way trying to get to 9 Inch Nails. That's my favorite band. I don't know how to do that. I play guitar and I played in punk bands growing up, so this is how it comes out. But that's what I love the most. So I think that kind of gives me a little bit of a different thing than other people. And I think for you and the bands, I heard your band, whatever, it was a Facebook group, you posted something probably, or somebody did, and I immediately was like, I need to find this guy, this person, whoever they are, all these people involved in this, and hopefully kind of befriend them, because this is what I've been looking for on the emo groups and all that shit. I'm looking for whatever you're doing. I like the twinkly clean and the modern baseball. I like it, but that's not. I want the harder shit, and it's still with the catchy shit. But the little things you guys sprinkle in, and the little bit of just like, you know, it's not all clean. I don't want clean guitar the whole time. Do you feel that way about like this wave of emo?
Oh yeah, 100%. I love fuzz. I'm like a fuzz fanatic. Yeah. Like we always just be like, people ask us, we sort of try and bridge genres, because I mean there's 4 of us in the band now and we all lift and stuff. And I love scramps, and I love it because it's got that abrasive, horrendously sort of almost anti-music at times. I'm not so into the twinkly emo stuff, which is why I feel out of place in a lot of those groups. But also, I mean, that you mentioned in modern baseball and stuff, we try and bring sort of elements into that, but also we've got to remember we're English. I am very, like, my voice is very English. I'm not about to start. I'm not going to do like Americanized emo. But it's cool to bring the influences from bands like that sort of era of modern baseball, Joyce Manor. Less, I guess it's less away from like the twinkly emo side and more to the pop punky emo side of things. And then also I like big fuzzy riffs, so we write breakdowns in there. Sometimes we write 2 breakdowns in a song just because it's funny. And I like playing heavy riffs live, and I like spiral kicking people in a mosh pit. Then I always hug them afterwards. So.
I'm not even. I don't think it's crazily off base, the things that you do and the things that I do within this scene, but it's a little more. It's harder to, like, I don't want to post one of my songs into something and be like, it's an emo song, not even because I don't want to associate with that, but because I don't want to step on the toes of, like, people will hear it and go, this is like punk or some shit. But if I said it was punk, I'd be in even more trouble, because the punk people are like, this ain't punk, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, I'm making just loud stuff.
Yeah, you're very much stuck between two quite toxic fan bases, really, because
Kind
you
of.
always have like old head punks like, oh, punk is this or that, and really like the punk they're talking about now wears like "Make America Great Again" shirts and sells butter on the TV. Like
Isn't that
that's not punk
crazy?
anymore. Like,
Oh, it's so crazy.
yeah.
I can't believe that shit. That's
Did
insane.
you wouldn't have had, you know, like Johnny Rotten had like a run of butter adverts in the UK, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there was this whole thing of like, you know, he's this anti sort of like anti-establishment punk rocker from the past. and
Yeah.
and then suddenly he's selling butter and he's going, oh, proper British butter. Like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are just full of shit now, and it's sad, but I bet if I won't take the time, but I bet if you kind of look through their past and look at how everything's come, like it probably makes sense, because so many of them are that way. There must have been something wrong. Like even a lot of old punk is racist. Like there's
Oh yeah,
literal
yeah.
racist songs in some of these. Like they've made statements about it, and it was the past or whatever, and it was a different singer or something. But there's that Black Flag song, and it's like white pride, and that's crazy. Because you look at
Yeah.
Henry Rollins didn't sing that, and you look at Henry Rollins, and he's like this crazy nice guy. But even him in his past, it was like he was hurting people because they were interviewing him and shit. He was wild. And just, I don't know. It's weird to see those people and how their paths go. I hope I don't change that much, you know?
I mean, it always makes you wonder whether they actually ever had that punk mindset, or whether they just saw a trend and latched into it, like sort of
Yeah.
similar to what we were just talking about, like whether they just thought, oh look, if we put staples through our noses and fucking shout about random, like just misdirected political statements, we can cash in on a genre that's getting big now. And then yeah, I don't know, I think it might be an element of that. Maybe it's just an element of like, I mean, a lot of people from that era have grown up to be fucking Tories, and it's right that way anyway. So I don't know, man. I don't
There's
know. It's
this
hard to
thing,
say.
there's a thing that, you know, I grew up hearing, and I'm sure you've heard stuff like this, but they say as you keep getting older, your ideals become more conservative, like
Yeah.
for a lot of people. And I think that's just the biggest amount of bullshit I've ever heard, because I was raised by my mom, who's this like crazily liberal woman. She may say something off color because she grew up really poor, and that's just like she's fucking a toxic person kind of when it comes to her language and shit, because she talked how the kids talked when she was a kid. But she's
Yeah.
not become, I mean, I hate to say that conservative people are like racist, but they've aligned themselves in my country with this guy, like the people who still support Trump, who is obviously pretty racist. And my mom would never, like, she fucking hates him to death, and she's hated people like that her whole life. And I hate that excuse. It's like, oh, you get older, you'll understand that it's right. It's like, no, it's not. It's just not even a little bit.
Yeah. And that plays into like another adage of like, young people are wrong, old people are right. This is right. Like, we know what's best for you. Like, and maybe
Yeah, my country,
there's a call for actual punk to call out against it.
Yeah. I've been writing some kind of political songs, which isn't a thing I do, and it's the thing I kind of frowned upon. But I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck, and everybody should be writing a little bit about this. Like, just show your fucking, this is how I feel about this. It's important right now, especially in my neck of the woods and like the people around me. Like, I thought I knew everyone around me, and I started to realize over the last couple years, some of these people are the people who are voting for this guy. And I'm like, oh, I'm completely, I don't want to be aligned with you. Not even a little bit. There's no excuse anymore. All this shit, the world's fucking ending. He doesn't even care. Like, fuck this guy, 100%. And I'm dumb, and I know. So how do y'all not know?
I feel the same. I'm stupid as hell, and yet I can tell that the government over here is just fucked. But like, I don't know. I've been writing some political stuff. We try and stay away from, like, I hate to say that, we try and stay away from it in our lyrics, let's say, for Hounding, just because the lyrics are specifically more about my own internal feeling, rather than external, like, expressions of anger at a certain thing. With Floods, I have a bit more free reign to just be like, yeah, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. I think it's a little bit freeing, but I understand the fear of writing that sort of thing, because, I mean, at times it can feel a bit contrived. Like, it can feel a bit like, yeah.
Well, for me, like, it can feel contrived for sure, but also I just think I'm afraid to say something stupid and be wrong because I don't look into this shit enough. But it's come to a point, I don't know if I'm getting older or what it is, but it's all around me, and I feel like I do know more, and I'm more willing to speak about it. But yeah, for the longest time, I didn't want to say anything because I just didn't want to sound stupid. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think there is a very thin line between it being like, talk about this subject in a nuanced way, more subtle way, and very on the nose. This is this is that, and like that works a little bit, but like, I mean, yeah, if every song on an album is like, it feels like it's about a different topic, it kind of feels like you're just going through like Sesame Street through politics. Like, every song is just like, oh, this is a punk song educating you about this social thing, and it's like, it's in terms of music, you shouldn't sacrifice the musical content and lyrical content, in my opinion, to push an agenda. You should be able to push that agenda. If you're a talented songwriter, you should be able to push that agenda in a subtle way. I think Idols are a really good example of that. Like, Joy is an Act of Rebellion. When you listen to those songs, you pay attention to the lyrics, you're like, holy shit, yeah, these are about, like, upfront, very like controversial subjects, and very well done. But when you listen to the album, you don't at the time think you're being preached to. Whereas like the newest album, at times, it's just like, it felt weak. It felt like they were it's like, oh, let's write a song about this. There's a line on one of the songs which, for Joe Talbot to write a line this bad, is just like, why are you doing this? And he's like, it feels like the village is a pillage. Like, bruh, did you go on Rhyme Zone right now? Like,
that's pretty good.
That felt insultingly bad.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly familiar with that, but I do think there's also just a point where I would never do every song. I'm sure somebody's pulled that off. I don't know who, but sometimes it just sounds kind of like you're using a message to sell something too. Like, sometimes people are like, we align with this. Listen to this song. It's about this, and it's about that. It's not about the song. It's about, like, hey, here's this thing. We're a part of it. Aren't we great? And it's just like, all right, come on. Just make the music, make it good. Yeah, that happens. Try not to call it out too much, because as I've learned, being one of those people who was like, everybody's virtue signaling, I was one of those people. You kind of start to realize, you know, if they're virtue signaling for something positive, even if you really think it's that, you don't know it, and you just need to be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's especially through, I think this year has been a lot worse for it, because also you had like so many, with this COVID stuff, you've got so many like promoters, bands and venues jumping on this, we're all a big family and we all care for each other and we all love each other. But it's like, oh, we are the music scene, we care for the music scene. I'm like looking at these promoters who we sold out shows for, and we go to their shows and then they don't pay us, and we're like, are you? Why should we help you right now? Like, we bring a whole room full of people who shout our songs back to us, and they claim that it's not our crowd. the scene's full of it. Like people just like jumping on the trend of, oh look, we're all a family now that we're all in the shit together. Oh look, we posted a black square. Like, oh, aren't we we're one of the good, we're the good guys in this. Like, stop like co-opting. I think bands need to
human
stop
decency
co-opting and human decency. Yeah, and
you can't co-opt
trying to capitalize on societal movements. Like, don't monetize progress.
Yep. I just feel like kind of a little lost in that, because now I've kind of hit a wall. I felt the same way that you did about seeing promoters and people that I've been fucked by in the past, because I had little bands before I started doing my just internet project thing, and it just makes you feel like, oh, these people are all fucking liars, and I want to say something about it, but not most people haven't been in a band and felt that, so they'll kind of look at you like you're kind of just being an asshole. So I've calmed down, because because it's true. Like it's all for the better, even if it's for the better of them, because that's all that they're thinking about. These people who, co-opt this bullshit, it's still somehow positive. So live and let live. I don't care. I just want things to get better, Yeah. I think that's where I stand with it too. There's that whole, it's just balancing it, I think, because I think if every single song and every single promoter and everything is jumping on, it feels like sometimes they're jumping on the bandwagon. And I appreciate, like, this has been very much a year of learning for a lot of people, and a year of learning perhaps we did this and this was wrong. But I mean, you can learn and develop in private without using it to get likes, shares, or whatever. Like, I mean, we see it in a lot. I don't know how bad it is in your scene there. In our sort of crippled scene in Kent, it's a bit. Everyone's trying to make themselves look like the person about, and trying to hook into those issues. Look how much we're helping this venue. Okay, I think you're back. You kind of trailed out a little bit. Sorry about that. Hopefully it doesn't sound too weird.
I was just whinging, really. I was just whinging about, bruh. It's what I do most days, all day, every day. It's kind of like a full-time job for me. I'm wondering why people watch shows.
Okay. Hopefully that's. I don't know if it was me, but you were cutting out a little bit. Can you hear me fine? I can cut this little part out.
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't mind going back, because this was kind of unplanned. I'll probably go back and, make sure everything makes sense and listen over to it. But, yeah, I wanted to.
Neither of us say that guy's in too much trouble. Oh.
I'd like to say to the people listening, if there are a few of them, this is the first time I've ever talked to L. L is the front person of the bands that they've been talking about, Floods in Japan and Hounding. I'll put in a little intro, of course, and say that. But this is the first time I've ever talked to them, and so we kind of just went off because we both love music and we're into these things and we like to talk about them and think about them. But if you ever see that they're on again, it'll probably be a little funnier. I'll probably write some shit down first, But this was cool. It's cool to just talk to you, get a little introduced, It feels like we kind of know each other.
There is something I really want to... Yeah, just through, like, being mutual shit posters, really.
Yes.
And just being invested in the bit. Because this being said, there is someone I really want to check in on, Zack Attack.
Oh yeah. So Zack Attack, for everyone listening, is this poor soul on the Pornhub pages. There are people who comment on the videos on Pornhub. I don't know if everyone's aware of that. I honestly wasn't for a long time, but there's comments and you can have a profile. Kind of weird. I'm not going to shame anyone for it. I probably will end up making one for meme purposes at some point, but yeah, I just can't believe the person who would be compelled to be like, man, that was a good one. And this guy Zach, he fucking he commented.
He
was like, oh, it's crazy. He keeps coming back. I can't wait to check in on that.
If only they did a loyalty card for Zach Attack. Like 6 comes and the 7th one's free or something.
Yep. I'm sure. I'm sure he's a premium member. I'm sure he's paying for it and stuff. But that guy, he was like, he commented, oh, that was great. I forget the exact thing. And then he commented again, I came back just because this was so good. And then he commented again. He keeps coming back. And his claim is that he comes to that video every day, which is insane. But I mean, if you find what you like, I guess that's, I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years. Is that any different? I can't judge him, We'll see. We'll see what's up with Zach for sure. The next solo one.
Have you seen it?
Have you seen
what? Have you seen the trails of people that comment in character, though?
Oh, yeah,
the people that comment in character.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, yeah, Barack Obama. Can't wait to show Michelle this one.
Yeah. And
that's just dedication to it. Like, man, it's a whole different breed of people. It scares me a little. I have fear of people who comment on porn videos to the level that I have fear of people that run subreddit. They're
for sure.
They're among us, like sleeper cell agents, man. Like, you don't know.
They're
which
bagging
one of
your groceries.
Like, ooh, juicy.
Yeah,
man. Bro, what if your waiter is one of those people and you're like at a restaurant?
Totally
like,
could be.
You don't know. Before his shift, he was commenting like, I wish that were me, on a video of a girl shoving.
And sometimes people will be like,
up her stuff.
Yeah. People will be like,
I tried.
I want to see you pretend you're dead. That's the freakiest thing I've ever seen. People will ask girls on OnlyFans or whatever. Like, I saw an interview with Belle Delphine, and she was saying some guy paid her a bunch of money to just lay there and pretend that she was dead. And she was like, of course, that's so much money, but that's creepy as shit. I don't know about that. I don't want to kink shame anyone, but I think once you're going into like something that would be illegal.
I mean, they like say that there's the conversation whether it's immoral or moral for people for your messages to get monitored. So like that sort of thing makes me feel like it's probably very moral, and that person should watch this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can't imagine a fan.
I love that. You're trying not to be judgy about it, but it's a little scary.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a healthy fantasy. You want to dress up like a dog? Cool. I might laugh at it, I'm not going to lie, but I respect that you know what you like,
There's something to be said for owning it and having the authenticity, like being authentic about it. But there's also something to be said about crossing the line between, that's really fucked up. Like, the whole steps in. You think about it, that's pretty fucked.
It is. It
that's not
is.
normal.
No, it's not.
Like, if your mate, bro, if one of your bros come to you and was like, yo, me and my stepsister, you'd be like,
I'd be wary of them, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them in my cat,
I might hit up his sister.
God, I don't think I would. I'd be a bit scared.
That's probably for the best.
She'd be like, instead of call me daddy, she'd be like, call me sister.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I'm not into that, man.
Could not
I'm just
do
not
that.
into it.
Not even a little bit. But
Feels illegal.
it is cool when people do know what they like. That is cool. There's some people like the guy.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for self-discovery, as long as it's legal.
Mm-hmm. There's a comedian, Jim Norton, who used to joke about at the time the word that was, because this was a long time ago. I think I was 12 listening to this. He would talk about she-males, just like trans people, because he was into that. And it wasn't even it was kind of in a jokey way that may be a little fucked up, but it also took this thing that a lot of people didn't know about, and he was like, yeah, I like this, and I don't care what you think about it. And that was very important for me as a kid to hear and just be like, yeah, of course. That's just what there's no reason to ever shame somebody for that. It's not even anybody's business. So like that's cool. No, exactly, and I do like when people are like proud and own their things. I kind of keep stuff like that to myself, but
yeah, as long as it's legal, yeah, same. Yeah. You got. I feel like you got to keep some things to yourself. Like, I know. I mean, everyone hears me just whinge through music, so I mean, you can probably work out most of my personality through my songs or my lyrics. So cool to keep some stuff to myself, like, and whether that's my crippling fear of people who comment on porn videos or anything else, like an actual fear. I'm scared of them. I'm terrified. Like, it's something that damages me daily. Like furries, man.
They're around
furries.
Us.
People at furries, man. Where'd you stand on furries? Where'd you stand on furries, man?
Well, I saw.
I want to know where you stand on furries.
I saw a video by this guy, I forget, All Gas No Brakes. All Gas No Brakes, popular YouTuber. He goes out and interviews people in the wild. He went to like a Trump rally, he just goes to these crazy places, and he went to Fur Fest, which was a furry convention that happened, and he talked to all these people, and he got their takes, and he tried to figure out what the fuck they were doing, and he ended up leaving like, yo, they're cool. And it kind of made me go, it's situational. It's definitely situational. Some people are living perfectly functional lives, and they just like to go play dog. And you know what? That's fine. If they're thinking about like, this is what I don't ever want to say to any of them, and I don't even want to. I feel bad saying it now, but you always wonder in the back of your head. Some of these people want to have sex with animals, and that's not good. But there's a lot that don't. Which is congratulations. Really yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that's what my thoughts on this are like. Is it's not just like ultimately like glorifying bestiality, which rightfully so doesn't sit right at all. But I mean, if they're just like, yo, I dress up, I go to conventions and shit, and we just hang out. Like, fair play. It's an expensive hobby. Man, I found out how much those suits cost. Like, why are they always the same as well? Whilst we're here, why are they always the same? Why?
Yeah, it's just
why
one
are they
art
always
style.
wolves or dogs, man?
Yeah, and it's not even that cool of an art style. It looks like My Little Pony, but different.
Where's the elephants? Where's the honey badgers and shit?
Yeah, dude, at least be something cool. I'd be like a bee. I'd be a scorpion.
A bee or a scorpion. Just either way, you get a stinger. Like, just one way you die if you sting someone. Well, you wouldn't because you're a person, but I think I'd go for like something cool, like a honey badger or a giraffe. Man, imagine a giraffe.
That'd be cool.
That would be really awkward to do anything like intimate with as well. So you could just like swing their head around, man. Yeah,
they can figure it out.
I bet they get fuck weird with the idea of doing that.
Scorpion, it's just like that's how I live my life.
There's so many animals. There's so many animals. Where are the monkey?
Monkey, I get not wanting to be a monkey. Fuck that. It's close. Like we came from them, right? Humans. It's too close. Yeah. I want to be something crazy. Fish would be hard. But if a bunch of people want to hang out,
that would be interesting.
I bet there's a group of people that pretend they're fish and hang out in water. I gotta look into that.
If not,
Scalies. Is that scalies? No, scalies is dragons.
Scalies.
That's dragons. Yeah, that's a thing too. Scalies.
Scalies sounds like a bad like STI or something.
It sounds gross. Yeah.
Yo,
it's just like dressing up like a dragon. Yeah. Oh man.
Man, I think like, yeah, fair play. If I meet someone and they're like, yo, I dress up. I've got a fursona. I am a furry. I'm like, oh, I'll be like fine with that. And then I ask them what they are, and if they say dog, wolf, fox, that's it. I'm like, fuck you. Like, at least be inventive. Like,
I'm good.
Man,
There's enough
so many
of those.
animals out there. Be a piece of coral.
True. Those are alive.
We need more of those. We need more coral.
We do.
Or like a bug. Buggies.
Buggies. That's got to be a thing too, because scalies is a thing. I don't know why I know that, but I know that that's a thing.
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it.
It's got to be. I feel like I've heard it before, and I know there's a website.
Am I gonna go on the watch list? But
maybe I'll Google bad
people
dragon.
Dress up as bug.
Bad dragon. I'll just tell the people about bad dragons. If you don't know what that is, they make dildos, but they make them like look like dragons, as if they were some crazy dragon creature thing, and they do very well.
Some of them like lay eggs and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to get a beanie because they have a beanie on their website, and just see if anybody notices what it is. Because I'd be like, how do you know what it is? I'm wearing it for the meme. Like, you know?
yeah, you're wearing it for the meme. Yeah, okay.
I would.
I have 7 of them.
I wouldn't.
I look like weapons.
Assume that. What?
They look like they kind of look like weapons as well.
They do, for sure.
I saw. I got a targeted ad for their Halloween special, and one of them was like it was just called meat, and it looked like raw meat.
That's creepy.
And it just like it freaked me the fuck out, man. I was like, I don't know. It looks like raw meat, man. It just looked like cut meat.
See, that's creepy, but I'm also gonna go look it up later because I'm interested. I think it's all interesting.
There was a glow in the dark one. That was pretty cool.
The egg ones though, that was where I was like, whoa, eggs for what? What are the eggs for? We having them for dinner? I don't get this at all.
Please don't eat those eggs for dinner. Disclaimer. I wish the Vice documentary on people who have like the I don't know what it's called, like where they like having like like having things laid into them, right? I watched the Vice documentary on it. It was really weird. It made me incredibly uncomfortable, but I think it's important to watch those things. So you just know, just so you know, like for sure, like okay, I guess I'm not into that. Like, please keep your dragon eggs away from me. Like,
oh, I thought you were saying cool. I wish there was one, and since there is one, I'm definitely gonna watch that myself. But
that was a Vice documentary. It was quite odd. It was as Vice documentaries are.
It was long.
Vice be like we interviewed. It was just odd, strange. Like Vice would be like we interviewed orangutans in a war-torn country, and they said that they were soldiers too. Like that's just Vice as a whole, and I fuck with that. That's the kind of journalism I want to do.
Yeah, man. I think that journalism is a lost art because right now a lot of people want to do hit pieces and just cancel people and stuff, which I'm not even saying is bad. Like, I'm sure part of that is very important, but I think people are forgetting, like, oh, just find something crazy and talk about it, which I also think YouTube comes in. A lot of YouTubers do that.
Yeah, especially commentary YouTubers. It's like, oh, look, this person's a bad thing. his 500 videos on it, neglecting the idea of reformation and redemption.
Yeah,
But
that's a bummer.
I've done journalism and stuff as part of my course. I actually last year was able to I fortunate enough to write the highest viewed article in my course, and it was all about a bowl of salad.
Oh yeah,
And I feel like that's really important to talk about. Just it was literally just about a bowl of salad. It was a picture of a McDonald's salad, and I was like, this is a meme. And that was the article about how anything can adopt meaning without meaning. It's the theory of phenomenology. But ultimately, the article you were clicking on was literally just going, this is a salad. It's a meme. And a picture of a salad. You didn't click on it knowing that was thing. That was pretty.
Yeah. Well, it's how you designed it, right? It's all about how you thought about it and how you executed it. Like, I made a video recently about an old movie where cats basically get addicted to this food, which ends up having humans in it, and they want to, like, fight people. They want to eat people because they're addicted to the taste now. And it's a movie from, like, the 70s. And it's not very popular. It kind of has a tiny cult following, I'd imagine. And I just thought it'd be funny to talk about. And the execution of that video was iffy because it was my first video like that. But that's one of those things where if I, maybe revisit it one day, that's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun thing to hear about, right? Cats eating people in a shitty video. Yeah.
It's like something entirely new because like we were saying about earlier about producing content for YouTube, was like, I have Among Us videos recorded, but I'm so apprehensive. I'm like, I don't really want to be that person that's like, oh look, I did this, but also you got to sort of balance it with, it's a funny video and it's on trend right now, like. But yeah, for sure, that niche sort of stuff. It's like Ted Niverson. Have you seen his stuff? He watches the knockoffs of like the Kung Fu Panda knockoff and stuff, and the Cars knockoff.
Yeah.
That stuff slaps, and like no one else is doing it, so that's sick. Like,
that's kind of Brutal Moose on YouTube. He goes through old VCR tapes, like tapes, not DVDs. He finds tapes that people have gotten rid of that they taped at their own house, a TV show or whatever in the 90s, and he buys these tapes with random shit that people taped years ago, and he goes through them and he shows all the old advertisements, all the old like weird TV shows and shit, and I love that. That's my favorite shit. Anything like this weird piece of art that came out a long time ago before the internet, so people don't know about it, and I want to show you it and we can laugh about it. I think that shit's the best.
But that being said, would you ever have a TV show? Would you ever have a TV show yourself? Like, would you love that? Or hate that?
I would rather have a podcast and a YouTube channel than an actual TV show. But if I did have a TV show, it would probably be, I don't want to say like Eric Andre, but leaning toward that, where there was a part interview and part skits. I would never go out into the public eye and bother people like Eric Andre does, even though that's funny and I love it. I just could not do it. I could not go ruin somebody's day over to make a joke. I would just feel too bad. I can't do it because he'll be in like Park Square beating up like fucking just doing crazy shit. Like he was beating a police car one time and people are freaking out, and it's like, I don't want to make people freak out.
I think I would like definitely preface mine as like a really chill like talk show, and then I'd like walk into like a theme song, like a proper like a do 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 do, and then just do like the and then walk backwards, like the fake walk in. I would do all that shit, and then it'd be like a really calm intro, and I'd be like, hi, welcome to my book corner. And then like Eric Andre, they destroyed a set at the start of everything, destroyed a set, and then it would just cut to like me and my friends doing ignorant shit in public and skits and jokes, like somewhat like that, but like probably less offensive and less like you said, less ruining people's days, and more just like dumb ignorant shit. Like jumping down 5 flights of stairs on a ironing board.
It's absurd shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you. I grew up with Jackass and all that crap. And as stupid as it is now. What?
I didn't like see Jackass until I was like 18. Like, I watched
even that's young enough to kind of like it. Did you like it?
I watched and I actually watched Loiter Squad first, the Tyler Creator program.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, oh, this is just like Loiter Squad, and then I was like, oh wait, no, Loiter Squad was like ripping off that. But like, yeah, that sort of shit is right up my street. I don't know, as someone who's done a lot of dumb and ignorant shit, it would be funny if there was a camera around and we could have at least made some money from it, or something funny from it. Like, I like once hospitalized myself by drinking hot sauce. That was wild. Just shit like that. Like, it'd be fun, man. It'd be fun to be like, yo, this is the stupid shit I do in my life. Laugh at me or with me, but either way, just like enjoy it. And I think that's the beauty of like the generation we're in now, is that you can just literally just go on post out on YouTube now, and it's like you have your platform.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I wish I had got into it sooner, for sure. I didn't have the internet until I was like 17, when I could get a job and pay for it. And when I was 17, that's like 2010 or something. So YouTube's already popping off. I did get on it and make like music, but I didn't think to do funny stuff. I should have. All these Let's Play people.
Oh man, yeah. People that just started playing horror games and just screaming over them, and now like, yeah, doing sick content. But like, I wish when I was younger, I really like. I got into YouTube when it first came out. Like when it first started getting big, I got really heavily into like Toby Turner and Timothy De La Ghetto and shit like that. And I wanted to do YouTube myself. So when I was like 14, I did like a paper round, and every day I'd do a vlog. And then like people at my school found it and would like bully me for it, so I quit. And I wish I'd just learned to just like not really give a shit, because like I had like people that enjoyed that stuff, and they were like, oh, why did you stop? But I was also doing like gaming videos with my friend and stuff, and I just stopped it all and I deleted it all. And I always wish I hadn't done like stopped that, because now I'm like in my mid-20s, I'm like trying to do it again, and it feels like, you know, it's past that wave of you can do that shit and get an audience. Like the market's so saturated now, like everyone can do this shit, which is great, but also shit, because like I was doing this like 10 years ago, and my content was just getting started, and I was finding my feet. Like I would just like, today I'm gonna try and do this with no instruction of like, I tried to skate without knowing how to skate, and it was just a fucking show reel of me just falling hard and then just laughing, and then it was just dumb shit. And then like I'd go out and spray paint places and just film that, and like, yeah, man, it was fun shit. And I got really bullied at school for it, so I stopped doing it. And I'm like, to this day, I'm like, man, I wish I just stuck with it, because like people are gonna be dickheads no matter what you do. Like just keep doing what you want to do.
Yeah, when you're young, it's hard to see that. You're just kind of like, fuck, nobody likes me, that sucks. And then you're older and you're like, of course nobody likes me, who cares, let's keep doing shit, you know. I definitely, when I was a kid, there's a lot of things you do when you're younger that you're like, that was a total waste of time. Even a girl would have a crush on you, and you would think, oh, she's cute, but you wouldn't want to date her because everybody else thinks she's icky or whatever.
Yeah.
When you're 12, that's the minimizing that feeling. That's where it all stems from, I think, and that's a feeling. The sooner a kid grows out of it, the better they're off, I think, because you just got to do what you want to do.
Yeah, because if you think of all like the kids that you probably looked at like at school and were like, oh, stay away from them, they're a bit odd, because they were just doing shit they enjoyed. Now you're like, oh man, they were the interesting kids, not the kids that were like, yeah, I play football the weekends, and
and you remember them.
Duty. Yeah,
you don't remember those other kids. You remember the odd kids.
Exactly. and you're like, I wonder where they are now. Oh shit, they're doing some really cool, interesting stuff. And like, yeah, those other kids might be in like decent paid careers and stuff, but they're boring as hell. They're like copy and pasted characters. Dystopian video game, like it's it's just stupid shit. Like I remember a time where if you said you played Minecraft or RuneScape or any games like that, like mate, that was like suicide. That was social suicide. I used to secretly play RuneScape, like because I was so scared of the repercussion. Now I'm like, yo, RuneScape fucking slaps. It's shit, my brother, but it's great. And same with Minecraft, like.
Yeah, it's cool. My brother's your age, and same thing. He loved Minecraft, and it was kind of lame, and he kind of fell out of it because he didn't want people to, like, it just wasn't his thing anymore because he didn't want to align with that, what it was. And now there's, like Ted Nivison, he's, like, this big fucking in shape, kind of handsome kid, and he loves all that shit, and it just goes to show, like, doesn't fucking matter. You fucking like what you like. Carson's a goofball, but I mean, that's what he does. He owned it, and look at him now. He's doing great. I love that guy, too. I haven't been into him for long.
I think I got into him about a year ago. I think a year and a half, maybe. Like, last year, I had, like, everything go wrong in my life at once, and my friend was just like, yo, start watching these YouTubers, because I was just like miserable, and I would put on Misfits, and then through Misfits I discovered like Carson and Schlatt and Ted Nivison and Wilbur Soot, and like for me, like realizing, you know, like Wilbur, exactly, if I'd been like 14, 15 watching someone like Ted or Wilbur and looking like, oh yo, this guy makes really beautiful music, is really cool, but also role plays on Minecraft, like I'd be like, yo, maybe it's not that weird. And I think that's something I think you grow up and learn, and I think I'm just like learning that still now, just to be like, just do what you enjoy. Like, man, me and my friend dress up as elves sometimes. We walk through the woods looking for mushrooms. Like, that shit's weird, but it's fun as fuck. Like, who cares if someone's going to see you in the woods dressed as an elf? Be like, what the fuck? Like, that's such a fleeting moment. They're going to look and they're going to forget you in 20 seconds. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I dye my hair, like, stupid things. Nobody gives a shit.
You gotta have fun. It's just
so, like, I mean, I get a lot of working in a bar. It's like, it's miserable people that, like, judge people, I guess. Like, I work in a bar, and because I've got, like, because my hair is the way it is, and I always have something weird about my hair, and I cut my own hair and shit, like, people think that means that they have the right to be able to comment on it. And it's always like shitty thing. Like, 9 times out of 10 it's people taking a piss. I'm like, I don't really care what you think, because you walk through this bar, you get a drink from me, you think, oh, that person's got weird hair, and then you walk away, and then you don't exist part that you're such a fleet, you're not in that person's life. Like, they don't know you, they don't know that and then you go to bed or this. They just
that person goes to bed, they wake up and they go to their shitty job, and it's like, who are they anyways?
There's and this they type of person, they don't remember you.
No, they won't. There's a type of person who sees somebody who does something with their hair, or they dress a certain way, and they think, well, they're doing that for attention so I can comment on it. And they don't realize, like, no, they're doing it because like, if you like something, you do it, right? So that's what they're doing. It's not for somebody else. It's for fucking them. You like how it looks, so you did it. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, I grew out mutton chops recently. I shaved them off, and I regret shaving them off so much. Like, I grew mutton chops. I'd shave up to the mutton chops, so I just had these fat fucking mutton chops. And it was like, all my friends were like, yo, what is going on? It looks so bad, or whatever. And they'd like take the piss out of me, and they'd say shit at work. I'm like, it's just like, I can do what I want. Like, I can do what I want with my body. And I loved my mutton chops. I miss my mutton chops, man. They were nice. They were like, I could just sit there and do this. And now I just got like this shitty, what is this? I miss my mutton chop.
I don't even go for the beard. I can't do it. I got the baby face, and it's fine. I've accepted it. The beard, when I do it, fucking terrible. Terrifying. I look
mine's
crazy. I can't do it.
But if I don't have like a bit of hair, I don't have a jaw. Like I have the weak chin, and like the lack of jawline. So I have to have something there to make it look like I'm not just one continuous blob. You know.
Whatever works. Whatever makes you feel good. I can't do it, man. I wish. I really do. I didn't realize that until around this year. I was thinking about how, I don't care that I can't grow a beard. I always felt that way. And something came up, like, I just feel it now. I'm like, fuck. No, it would be cool. It would be cool. I wish I did.
Beard, man. I see people in, like, groups we're in on Facebook. We're in, like, those emo groups. And I see some of them post and they've got these, like thing. I'm like,
it's tight.
It's never going to be me, man. That's never going to be me. I'm never going to be able to grow.
I'm 27 now. It's not happening for me. Yeah.
Nah, I always thought when I was like 18 and I still didn't have to shave, I was like, oh, it's fine. When I'm like 27, when I'm 24, I'll have a beard.
Just doesn't happen sometimes. Sucks.
My brother's out here with his like Dear Man of the Dark Woods beard going on, like being Sasquatch, and I'm just like, he can grow a beard in a day. My brother. I'm like, why? What? How has this happened?
Yeah, my brother. It's the same way with my brother, and he doesn't care. He wishes that it wouldn't grow. You know, he just hates shaving it. I'm like, dude, just keep it short. It'll be sick. It's tight,
right? You don't. It's like, dude, you don't know what you have the choice. You have the choice. That's not. He shouldn't be able to flaunt that choice. He has a choice whether he wants a beard or not. We don't.
Nope.
We gotta be barefaced babies for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm. It's a bummer. You know,
So yeah, I'm thinking of growing the mutton chops back out.
Do it. Do whatever makes you happy, you know? But yeah, this has been cool. Is it actually, you know, I think that happens when you find people you kind of have similar interests. Like we rambled for a while, and I think I'm gonna call it, since this is pretty long. I'm guessing it's got to be like 40 minutes.
In about an hour,
yeah. That's cool how it worked like that. I'll let you know when it goes up, and this has been L.
Thank you. You should follow me on shit. My name on stuff is LL, which is awful, so you'll never find it. But I'll get you in a video. You come in one of my videos, we'll work some stuff out. It'll be cool. This has been fun. Thanks for the opportunity.
For the YouTube with the video and everything, I'll have his links, or their links, sorry. And fucking whatever else. If you want to send me some shit, I think I can link stuff in the video.
Yeah, I'm also mad famous on TikTok, so we'll go with that as well.
Oh, yeah. L has a few things on TikTok that have amassed a lot of views. It's funny how that shit works, huh? Right?
It's just me screaming, man. It's just me screaming. That's the way forward. Just scream.
That's tight.
Just like do some dumb shit and scream over it. That's it. What my music is as well. Yeah.
All right. Well, we love y'all. Rock and roll. Goodbye.
Roll, man.